Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Member Washington, for that. Since we're talking about Black history, I wanted to talk a little bit about the history of Black History Month. In 1926, Carter G. Woodson started Black History Week to rectify the fact that Black people were overlooked, ignored, and even suppressed by the writers of history textbooks and the teachers who use them. Woodson chose the second week of February because it coincided with the birth dates of President Abraham Lincoln and the slavery abolitionist Frederick Douglass. In 1970, Black educators and students at Kent State University began using the entire month of February to celebrate and recognize Black triumphs and tribulations. U.S. presidents started to formally designate February as Black History Month in 1976. At the heart, Black History Month is about celebrating the many Black firsts that are still occurring despite systemic barriers, without acknowledging that Black ancestors built much of the physical, economic, and cultural foundation that the United States stands upon. However, a new bill in Tallahassee entitled Individual Freedom is being proposed in our Florida legislation, and it would ban public schools and private businesses from making people feel discomfort when being taught about racial discrimination in U.S. history. Let's be honest, there's no way of teaching Black history in our country without some people feeling uncomfortable. Just like there's no way of teaching about the horrors of the Holocaust without people being uncomfortable. You can't teach about the importance of people like Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass himself, Rosa Parks, MLK, Langston Hughes, Maya Angelou, John Lewis, Muhammad Ali, George Washington Carver, without teaching about the horrors of slavery, oppression, segregation, Jim Crow, and historically racist policies that have been embedded into our nation's history. And that's okay, because we don't grow and learn from our mistakes without studying them to begin with. We don't get better without some discomfort. Woodson believed that celebrating Black history was a political act to destroy the dividing prejudice of nationality and teach universal love without the distinction of race, merit, and rank. And that a failure to accept Black people as fellow architects of the United States is an existential threat to the nation that we all call home. So as we celebrate Black History Month, let's be honest about people who are attempting to demonize things like critical race theory, social emotional learning, bias training, because these are an attempt to whitewash our history. And if we do that, we make the mistake of possibly repeating things like that. So I just wanted to talk about the history of why we're celebrating Black History Month, the importance of Black history, and making sure that we properly teach it in our schools so we don't repeat some of the mistakes. Thank you.